Almost every single human being consumes at least a little bit of caffeine every single day, whether it's through that morning cup of coffee, that chocolate bar you had at lunch, or that soda you had with your dinner. Now, caffeine, if you didn't know, is a compound. It's found in many different kinds of foods and beverages. Now, I was curious because I am an avid coffee drinker, so I thought to myself, I was like, where does caffeine come from and why can I have it but not my pet cat? So I went on a journey through research. All right, so today we're going to talk about where caffeine comes from and where you can typically find it, how it affects different organisms such as insects and dogs, and how it affects human beings and why we can consume it while other creatures can't. So of course, to start, we need to talk about where it comes from. So caffeine occurs naturally in nearly 60 different plants according to coffeeandhealth.org. Some of these plants include coffee beans, cocoa, tea leaves, and stuff like that. So caffeine can be found in different kinds of foods, beverages, and even medicines. Some examples of these are soft drinks such as Dr. Pepper and Pepsi, some foods like chocolate, and cold and flu remedies. Now that you know where caffeine comes from, we're going to talk about how it affects organisms that aren't us. So, caffeine is a natural pesticide that occurs in plants to ward off insects and like some other small creatures. So it triggers paralysis and other symptoms like that in these animals when they consume it. Some examples of this are mosquito larvae. When they consume it, they cannot swim to the surface of the water, so they end up drowning and dying. And as discovered by Chassis Speaks, spiders, when they have caffeine in their systems, they cannot make symmetrical webs, and their webs become very haphazardly made. Now, a couple other examples are in bigger animals, such as a dog. So if your pet dog were to consume caffeine, it could give them a rapid heart rate and is very, very poisonous to them, and it could possibly be fatal. Now that we know how caffeine affects some other organisms, let's talk about us, humans. So most human beings will consume caffeine as a way to get that burst of energy in the morning, or that burst of energy before you're pulling an all-nighter for that English paper you didn't write in time. Now, according to Healthline, some effects that caffeine can have on your body is it can give you a rapid heart rate, it can give you heartburn, and in some cases it can give you diarrhea. Now, according to the FDA, the normal recommended max amount of caffeine you should have every single day is about 400 milligrams. This is approximately 4 to 5 cups of coffee, which seems like a lot, but with energy drinks and stuff like that, it can happen very quickly to consume that much. Now, if you consume more than that recommended amount, you can get osteoporosis later in life, you can have pregnancy issues, and you can have fertility issues, because caffeine is just as toxic to us as it is to other creatures. But since we have different body systems and we've adapted a little bit, it just takes a lot more to occur in our bodies. Now, I talked about some of the disadvantages of caffeine, but according to WebMD, there are also some advantages. Caffeine can help improve your memory, it can decrease fatigue, and it can improve your mental functioning. So when you're thinking about, should I have that cup of coffee? Because it could be toxic if I have too much caffeine. Think about that fatigue you feel in your bones and how that coffee might be able to decrease it. So in conclusion, caffeine is a very addictive compound that occurs naturally as a pesticide and is very toxic to insects and animals, but can be consumed nearly daily by us human beings. So, just as I will, enjoy that cup of coffee in the morning, or that soda at lunch, or that chocolate bar for dessert, because you deserved it.